Okay, I'm going to give a review of a video I just watched by the Madhead doctor. Well, it's my second time watching it. I thought that I'd just give my review of the video. If this video doesn't open your eyes a little, if you are a Umar Johnson supporter and you believe in him, if you've been misled, this video right here should open your eyes a little bit, even if you are a hardcore Umar Johnson supporter. You know, we don't have any black leaders right now on YouTube. I don't see many on YouTube. You know, the real black leaders are not the Tariq Nasheeds or the Umar Johnsons. And I hope that this video, you know, I think everybody should share it. I don't think Madhead's going to care if I share it right now, but we're going to watch it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give my review after I finish watching this video.
All the clips I'll play here will be 90 seconds or less. Nor have I ever claimed, okay? I have more videos on YouTube.
Let me start that over.
All the clips I'll play here will be 90 seconds or less. Nor have I ever claimed, okay? I have more videos on YouTube than any other scholar. I speak around the world more than any other scholar. Show me where I've ever said I was a descendant. Challenged Roland to show where he ever claimed to be a descendant. But we all know that's been a big part of his claim to fame. Right after them 6 degrees he mentions every time he opens his mouth, but hasn't shown any of them. But let's accept the challenge.
Welcome, a warm welcome, Dr. Umar. It's great to enter the dialogue with you this evening.
Thank you, sir. Honor is mine.
Tell us a little about your background, your roots.
Certainly. I'm a descendant, a blood relative of Frederick Douglass, the famous 19th century abolitionist and orator. He and I descend from the same set of 4 parents. I'm a descendant, a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. I'm a descendant, a blood relative. I'm a descendant, a blood relative of Frederick Douglass.
Okay, that takes care of that. Now these 90 seconds. So the question becomes, he's either related or he's not. Okay? So are you related? I'm about to answer your question. Okay? Allow me to do that. I am a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. My name is on the family tree. We have a family reunion every 2 years. What they're talking about, I want to make sure you're clear. They're talking about whether or not I come through the loin of Frederick Douglass, which I do not, nor have I ever claimed. Okay? I have more videos on YouTube than any other scholar. I speak around the world more than any other scholar. Show me where I've ever said I was a descendant. I've only claimed one thing, kinsman. How am I kinsman? If you ever read any of the autobiographies of Frederick Douglass, he talks about growing up on Tuckahoe Creek with Cousin Stephen. Cousin Stephen is Stephen Bailey, Dr. Umar Johnson's 4 times great-grandfather, whose grave I just visited last week. I go every year. Okay, that's my 4 times great-grandfather. He married my 4 times great-grandmother, Caroline Wilson Bailey. From that union came my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, the first black public school teacher on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. He married Grandma Annie. They had Grandma Caroline. Okay, she had Grandma Vivian. Grandma Vivian married a Spanish-speaking Cuban immigrant, Grandpa Cicero. They had Grandma Ida, who's still alive, who married Jane Johnson, who had my father Jamal, who married my mama Barbara, and from that union I was born. I am a blood of Bailey. I am not married in. What they're talking about is strictly descendancy, something I've never claimed. Am I a kin? Do I directly come from the loin of the first cousin and potentially half-brother of Frederick Douglass? Urinating, defecating, and copulating. Doing 3 things out of the same hole, like this chicken's ass, is what you just heard Umar do. 3 things are 3 words he's playing with: related, descendant, and kinsman. Saying that he never claimed to be a descendant, even though you just heard him say he's a blood relative. Blood relative. You can't be more of a descendant than that. How in the hell can you be a blood relative of somebody and you not be a descendant, as he lied and claimed he's never did, but did just that with that triple wordplay? He does that right in people's faces with that fast-talking, complicated maze and game of let's find Waldo. This person came from that person came from this person married that person, and that person married this person. And notice the part where he said that the family's claim against him is that he's saying he came directly from the loins of Frederick, as if they themselves came directly from the loins. No, they are related to Frederick, is their assertion. And descendant and kinsman are two words that are interchangeable, and Umar changes them a lot. But both words are related to blood relative. And I've heard nobody claim that Umar said he came directly from the loins, but he responds as if they did, which does not answer the accusation of him not being related to Douglas. But Umar's, he merely responds with the straw man argument.
From that union I was born. I am a blood of Bailey. I am not married in. What they're talking about is strictly descendancy, something I've never claimed. Am I a kin? Do I directly come from the loin of the first cousin and potentially half-brother of Frederick Douglass? And the reason I say potentially half-brother of Frederick Douglass. And the reason I say potentially half-brother of Frederick Douglass. And the reason I say potentially.
No, the reason you say potentially is because you're lying. Throws in the word potentially, a fourth word. A chicken doesn't even have a hole that can push that fourth one out. Because like I told the chat room, I could potentially be related to Adam and Eve. Or I could potentially be related to King Ramses or other Egyptian pharaohs.
Man, we got Amos Wilson, greatest black psychologist of all time, greatest scholar of all time, most practical scholar of all time, most underrated scholar of all time. Blueprint for Black Power, awakening the natural genius of the African children, developmental psychology of the African child, Garveyism in the age of globalism, black on black adolescent male violence, black on black violence, a million DVDs, a million lectures. Amos was everything. I'm a child of Amos. I'm a child of Amos. I'm a child of Amos.
Even in a non-blood related, non-kinsman, non-descendant way, he claims to be a child of someone famous. Amos Wilson there.
And so we paid respects earlier to the Honorable Frederick Douglass, my direct ancestor, and it's only fitting and it's only with respect that if we're going to big up the masculine energy, we got to big up the feminine energy. And we know that Queen Mother Harriet and Frederick Douglass were very, very good friends. Some even say may have been cousins, which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman. I ain't even get into that right now. I'm related to Harriet Tubman, which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman.
Wow. See, that's been claiming to be related to
rewind that. Play that back.
Respect that if we're going to big up the masculine energy, we got to big up the feminine energy. And we know that Queen Mother Harriet and Frederick Douglass were very, very good friends. Some even say may have been cousins, which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman. I ain't gonna even get into that right now. Which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman. Which means I'm related to Harriet Tubman.
Wow. See, this dude claiming to be related to every damn body. Harriet too. And this is who y'all believe in, though. Our prince who said he would achieve global domination with the school. Y'all believe that too. Y'all ought to quit. Seriously. Look at this picture. He sat down for this. He was here claiming that he's mere kinsman, but wants to look like Frederick, but claims he never said he's a descendant. The Frederick thing has been part of his claim to fame. He even puts a wig on.
He and I descend from the same set of four parents, Isaac and Bessie Bailey. Grandma Bessie was an enslaved African, but Isaac was free. They had a very large family during slave time, as many did. And from their children, two daughters in particular, Harriet and young Bessie, they were actually molested by the slave master who owned our family. And the resultant of that pregnancy was Frederick Douglass and his brother Stephen. And I am a great-grandson of Stephen Bailey, which would be Frederick's brother.
The problem, though, is that he's been running around claiming relation to Frederick, not Stephen Bailey. He only does that when people ask him questions. That Frederick hairstyle wig he puts on is Frederick's, not Stephen's. Or maybe one of you out there can show me Stephen Bailey with that hairstyle. Then I'd be wrong on this point. He claims Bailey only when questioned about him claiming Douglas. This video is because the Frederick Douglass thing is not going to go away. So in the future, I just wanted for people to pay attention to how he's been responding to being questioned. He's not answering nothing. He's just been responding. Our prince of Pan-Africanism who convinced y'all that he's going to achieve global supremacy with the school.
There's a war against black boys, and I'm at the forefront of trying to reverse it. We have a lot of scholars who talk. They talk about it, but they're not doing anything. Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to do something about that war by giving our children a heaven on earth and a home away from the home, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG Academy, where there will be no special ed, there will be no suspension, there will be no expulsion, there will be no need for psychiatric medication or ADHD. We will also have a small program for deaf children, a small program for blind children, a small program for autistic children.
No medication for autistic children?
For children with serious mental illness. That's what we're looking to do. The school is going to be a
they ain't gonna get no medication? God damn.
For global economic leadership and domination. For global economic leadership and domination. For global economic leadership and domination.
And y'all believe them. This video is another demonstration of what I've said in the past about just because you can see a person's face, don't mean that you know who they are. This dude claiming to be everybody, like a vampire that got thousands of years of different people's blood in them.
It's a love, black families, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, live and direct. Baltimore, Maryland, Prince Ifá Tunde. I finally found the grave of one of the greatest black men to have ever lived, also from Maryland's Eastern Shore, with ancestor Frederick Douglass and grandfather Stevie and grandfather George and grandmom Annie and grandmom Caroline. This is the great Bishop Alexander Wayman. He was the 7th bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, a great and powerful black man, and I want to pay respect. Here's a Harriet Wayman Turner. I got to do some research on Harriet Wayman Turner, but as y'all know, Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, one of my heroes, was the 12th or the 11th bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. I got to double check the number, but Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, the first black man that said God was black, was friends with Bishop Alexander Wayman. So when I see this Harriet Wayman Turner, I'm led to believe that maybe one of the children of Bishop Henry McNeil Turner may have married one of the children of my ancestor, Bishop Alexander Wayman, which would make me a relative to Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, which would make me a relative to Bishop Henry McNeil Turner.
God damn,
They go so far as to stand over the graves of famous people. They claim that that's his own. That's pretty much all I wanted to say on the Frederick Douglass thing. Graves of famous people.
Henry McNeil Turner
will even go so far as to stand over the graves of famous people and claim that that's his own. That's pretty much all I wanted to say on the Frederick Douglass thing. And this is the one y'all believe in, though.
Turner, which would make me a relative to Bishop Henry McNeil Turner.
Will even.
Yo, that fucking picture right there is crazy, man. Oh, man. So, you know, I've called out, you know, Umar Johnson many times before in the past. I've been telling y'all the same shit. Madhead has been telling y'all, you know, a lot of people been trying to tell you, this nigga full of shit, man. Umar Johnson ain't nothing but a snake oil salesman. He's capitalizing off of his own people and their predicaments, you know, so he's still another form of a fucking coon. That's another form of a fucking sellout, you know. These niggas ain't trying to same shit with Tariq. Tariq was just wrapped up in an American flag the other day with the big coon smile on his face. And truthfully, I think that Tariq wrapped himself in that flag to send a message out to a real rich white supremacist that might want to use him. He want to wrap himself in white supremacy. You know, Tariq is a sellout too. You know, that's why, you know, he went to Vlad's TV studio, a fucking Jew, and he went there to beat up a black man, but he didn't have anything to say to Vlad. He was very respectful to Vlad. Vlad didn't have to raise his voice. Vlad said one fucking sentence in a monotone and a low tone, and he demanded Tariq's full attention. You know, Tariq had nothing but respect for Vlad, you know, and he's nothing but a fucking Jew that's fucking is a fucking culture vulture. You know, these niggas ain't nothing but fucking sellouts. These niggas ain't nothing but fucking sellouts, man. That's fucking real fucking talk. Yeah, I saw that Cupcakes clean the stove. I saw that. I saw that. You know, I'm glad that listen, He had already cleaned that stove before he cleaned it on the video because it was much cleaner than it was before. You know, he been scrubbing that shit. Cupcakes has not been making no videos because he been scrubbing the fuck out of that goddamn stove. He been scrubbing the fuck out that stove. He got a lot of that brown stuff off. He got a lot of that stuff off. I'm not, and you know what? I'll give him credit. If he had did that to begin with, we never would have said nothing. You know, ever since I put that video out, something changed in Cupcakes. You know, listen, when I put that video out of that stove, I crushed Cupcakes because, you know, Cupcakes takes pride in his cooking, even though he can't cook. But he takes pride in that cooking, man. And when I took that fucking screenshot of that dirty ass stove, and then I shut that shit down. I had to do videos and shut his own. I had to shut his kitchen down because he had health code violations, man. Health code violations. That fucking stove was filthy. It was. I shut that shit down. Cupcakes has not been the same since. He has not been the same since. He did that video. He's cleaning his stove. I'm like, you know, you should have did that to begin with. All of the videos threatening to fight me, you want to beat me up and all that shit. What you should have did is what you did now, you know, from the whole beginning. Just clean the goddamn stove, man. Just clean it. That's all. If you pull up on Scenic Highway, you pulling up? Damn. I don't think Cupcakes wants to fight anybody though, man. I think Cupcakes, he just gets frustrated and he starts to think he's a big little man again, you know. He gets confused. Cupcakes gets confused sometimes, you know. But y'all done fucking derailed me from this fucking video. But this shit right here was a fucking classic, man. This video right here was a motherfucking classic. This shit was a fucking classic for real.